What's up, everybody? I watched a animated film called Arjun, the Warrior Prince, and Disney had a hand in it. And I think before I get into this film that I saw, I want to reference an old Mahabharat that I watched, and it was kind of CGI computer animation. Had very much like a video game in America back in the 80s feel to it. Well, 90s, let's be a little more accurate, 90s. 80 video games are terrible as far as graphic quality. And this old one had a lot of famous people in it as far as doing voiceover, Vidya, Amitabh, all kinds of folks doing it. And I watched it, and it helped me a little bit to understand, but it was very, very confusing. And sometimes I was distracted by the production quality. Not not really pay attention to what the characters are doing, but more like, what the heck is this? This film, this current film that I saw that Disney had, the animation was so good. I mean, the production quality was so good. There were things that looked lifelike. They were blending different types of animation mediums into this thing, and it was basically the tale of Mahabharat, basically. And the first one that I watched, I wasn't sure, who's the good guy, who's the bad guy, what's going on here. Why are they doing this? This one was very now it could be the animation, the storytelling, and the production values were so much better in this one, or it could be the more you know, the more you see, the more you know, right, kids? We've talked about that a lot. The more you see, the more you know. And it could be because I've been working my way through Ramanyan. I've now started Hanuman, and so this one seemed very easy to grasp, right? And here is the thing, and I did a poll a while ago about, who's the best archer, and people weighed in on it. But I really felt, well, I'm getting way ahead of myself. So let's just kind of first talk about this. Is kind of a retelling, a shortened version of the Mahabharat. So you get this, and if you're new and you're like, and you're not Indian, you're not Hindu, right? And you're just the stray American white dude who's lost watching this going, what the hell is he talking about? What is the Mahabharat? Mahabharat is an epic written in India, Hindustan, and Bharat, and those are all different names for India. And it is, depending on who you talk to, the history of India, a more of a story that we can pull lessons from. But to the practicing Hindu, it is the history of India, and it's a compelling story. It's very good. There's a lot of things that you can pull out of that. So that's what this is. So this is a shortened version put in a very clean, polished up, animated, film that you could watch. And here are my takeaways. Right here are my takeaways. Number one. When Krishna shows up and helps you, don't let your pride get involved. And we saw this family, Arjun's clan, right? We saw Arjun's clan, Bean's clan. They're facing persecution by their family members at every turn. They're trying to kill them. They're trying to wipe them out because they also have a claim to the throne. Right, they have a claim. So you have a evil brother who does not want to, or cousin, I guess he would be, does not want any competition to the throne, and he has an uncle, his father, who's very evil, and they portrayed him really well as this short, fat, unmuscular, Weasley dude. I don't like that uncle, dude. I wanted to punch him in the face. Lie, cheat, and steal, dude. That's all he knows. Lie, deny, make counter accusations. This guy was, the personification, I think, of just a scummy little evil dude that needs his fat head busted in, right? And so what we see here is this family putting the other part of the family, the other lineage to the throne, in harm's way. They try to have him killed. They're exiled. They do all these different things, and they keep surviving. And when Krishna shows up, to help you. It has nothing to do with you, okay? It has nothing to do with you. It has to do with Krishna's wisdom and help. Because Krishna steps in, he helps this family. He tells them, you need to bring peace to the land. That's what you need to do, right? And he takes Arjun, and he says, Arjun, come with me. And they take him out where all the bandits are. And Arjun's been trained. Arjun has been trained from a very small boy to be a warrior, to fight. He's an excellent archer. He's an excellent swordsman. He can defend himself. He is going to be in the Fight Club. We should probably put a clip of this in the Fight Club. He does a great job. However, he's a little scared because he's young, right? And that's normal. That is very normal, I think. And so Krishna takes him out in the woods and puts him in harm's way for bandits to come. So it's either fight or die, dude. Ride or die, brah. And Arjun rides. And we see Arjun has some skill, right? So I know I'm going out of order, and please forgive me, my Indian friends. I'm getting excited. I'm getting way ahead of myself. So they come up with a plan to gain, what was her name? Dapachradi? No. Dupardurapi. Vidya played her in the other Mahabharat. Main character, very main character. They come up with a way to win her hand in marriage because they're having an open competition to shoot the goldfish. And it looked like Arjun did it, but she's with some other dude, and I don't understand that, but that's okay. The more you see, the more you know. The third installment that I see of this, I'll probably be like, oh, that's what was going on. So bear with me. And so you have this kingdom, and the king is being coronated in this kingdom, and they built up, Arjun's clan built up this kingdom fairly quickly. It's very impressive. And it is a counterweight now to the other side of the families. And they're coming to the coronation of the king, and you see what was initially given to him as swampland and some rundown, temple-like place. They built up. And I think it was Bean who said, we're going to make this a palace so Indra, the sun god, will dwell here. Like, he's going to be like, this is my home, yo. And they do it, and they make it out of gold and whatnot. Looked like very much Solomon, King Solomon of the Jews, kind of grandioso stuff, right? And they have an idea. The evil uncle and his cowardly little nephew have this idea. We're going to go to war. No, Uncle said, no. What if they just give you the kingdom? He said, what are you talking about? And he said, on the coronation, the king won't reserve a challenge. Let's challenge him in a game of gambling. And I got loaded dice. I got dice that are fixed. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. And we'll go through the series of things. And so you see they challenge the king, and the king's pride steps in. He's like, sure, I'll play. And the first game, he takes off an earring. He says, I'll bet this. And they all laugh at him. They're saying, I bet all my jewelry. And they throw it in there, and they win. And you can see now people are laughing at the king, and his pride is getting the best of him. And he says, okay, I bet all the gold in my treasury. Well, we'll do it too. Oh, we win all your gold too. Look at that. Woo. I bet all my horses. Oh, I bet all my horses. Woo, we win. I bet all my soldiers. I bet all my soldiers. Woo. And it goes on and on and on. And the king loses everything. He loses the kingdom. He loses his wife. He loses everything. And this is so important. This is so important. Because you can have pride in what you do. Like, I'm going to do a good job. Right? I'm going to do a good job. I have pride in movie community college. I've worked very hard. A lot of videos. You guys remember how bad it used to suck? I mean, it still sucks now, but not as bad, right? You got to admit it's not as bad, right, Ani? It's not as bad. And I take pride in it. But it's also different to be proud as a person, to be like, oh, don't you know who I am? Like, that is not appropriate. That is not appropriate. We're all humans. We're all friends. We're all family, right? And I think that's a huge takeaway. I also liked how Krishna was portrayed in this one. He was kind of actiony. I felt like I want to see more of Krishna. And I think out of the avatars, Krishna is my favorite so far because people ask me which one do you like. I felt like when he's Ram, he's more very passive in everything that he's doing, and it focuses more of the wisdom, right? When we see Krishna, I think it focuses more on the warrior. I mean, there's wisdom to Krishna and what he tells people, what he's going to tell Arjun when they have the great battle. And I also like Bhim. I like Bhim. He's just like, he's a great character. It's like, I like this guy. I really do. And it's like, you know, the adventures of Bhim, that could be like a whole thing. And so overall, this was very entertaining. This is very helpful and knowledgeable to understand, at least begin the process of understanding the Mahabharata. I don't know necessarily if you could understand it from an animated film completely, but you get an understanding, you get a flavor, you understand these things, and I would encourage you to watch it. It's on Netflix, very, very good, and again, it was Arjun, the Warrior Prince, very, very good. I give it 2 thumbs up, yo. It's kind of whatever. I'll catch you guys later. Peace and much love. Like and subscribe, yo.